Google Sheets gives you the ability to name ranges. So this is a really excellent feature when you're trying to write formulas and you're dealing with a range on a regular basis, a range of cells. So let me show you what I mean. If I come in here and we'll start with just these age, age column here in this table. If I select all of these age references, and let's say I'm going to use that reference often, I can come up here to my data menu, scroll down, I'll come down to named ranges right here, and then you'll see over here on the right, you'll see I get the named ranges window that pops up here, and it's going to ask me to name my range. So I'm just going to call this the age. And then this second box just tells me where to put it. By default, it selected the cells that I already had selected, so that's what I want. And I hit done. Now I have a named range. Now what that does is, let's say I want to come down here and I say equals the max of, instead of having to reference the actual cells, I can just type age. And notice, you'll see here that the age right there, it's turned color, it's turned orange, so it recognizes that as an object, not just a word. Okay, and I close my parentheses and hit enter, and it calculates the formula. So that shows you how the ranges work. Let me give you another example here when it makes a little more sense. So I'll get rid of this age range, and I'm going to go ahead and select just this table right here, and we'll call this the I don't know, the name table. Names, keep it simple. All right, so now we have that named range called names. If I come over to this other tab, and if I want to pull in my ages, because you notice this other table right here has a lot of the same names, but it doesn't have the same ages. I'm going to use a VLOOKUP. But instead of having, so my search key is just going to be the name, right? But my range, instead of having to look up the range, I can just type names. And notice, that's another thing I want to show you. So as I'm typing it, Google Sheets, it guesses and it tells me, hey, you have a named range called names. And it even tells me where it is. So I can go ahead and click on that. And that will keep my range the same. So I don't have to worry about making absolute references. If you don't know what those are, we have a video on that. You can look that up. My index, oh, I might have to look that up, but I think it's 4. And false. Oops, it's not 4. Maybe it's 3. There we go. So now as I pull these down, you notice I didn't have to make absolute references for my VLOOKUP because it just used that same names range every single time. So ranges can be really helpful, especially if you don't want to go back and forth and back and forth. You can name a whole bunch of ranges and use them in your formulas.